I bought a smart speaker last month. Basic stuff, weather, music, lights. One night, just before bed, I said, "Good night." It replied, "Good night, Alex." Weird, because I never told it my name. Next night, I said it again. This time it replied, "Good night, Alex. He's watching you." I laughed nervously, figuring it was a glitch. But then, the bedroom light turned off by itself. I unplugged it, tossed it in a drawer. At 3:17 a.m., I woke up to whispering. From the drawer, it said, "He's here." I booked a cheap motel for one night on a long drive. They gave me room 313. At 2:47 a.m., I woke up to a knock on the door. 3 knocks, then silence. I checked, no one there. But when I turned back to my bed, someone was lying in it, facing the wall, breathing slow, heavy. I bolted, ran to the front desk. The clerk just stared at me and said, "There is no room 313. I looked back at the hallway. Room 313 was gone. Just a wall where the door had been. But the scariest part? My bag's still in there. And my phone just sent a photo. It's me, sleeping beside them. It started after I found that old Polaroid camera at a thrift store. Every time I took a photo, someone else appeared in it. Not a person nearby, no one I could see. But in the photo, always in the background. A tall, pale figure. Watching. Closer each time. I stopped taking pictures. Until tonight. I woke up to a click. On my nightstand was a new Polaroid. I'm asleep in bed, and the figure is standing over me, eyes wide open. And at the bottom of the photo, scrawled in pen, "Don't blink." You ever get a phone call from someone who's already dead? I have. It was my sister. She died last year, car crash. I was there at the funeral, saw her in the casket. But 2 nights ago, my phone rang. Private number. And when I answered, her voice, "I'm home. Can you come let me in?" I froze. The line went dead. I told myself it was a dream, a glitch. But then I heard it. 3 knocks on the door. I live alone. I didn't open it. I checked the peephole. No one there. But under the door, her necklace was lying on the floor, the one she was buried in. And last night, I got another call. Same voice, but now whispering, "Why won't you let me in?" You're in your bathroom, casually brushing your teeth. You spit, look up at the mirror, and freeze. Your reflection is still brushing. Your breath catches as your mirrored self slowly stops, tilts its head, and grins, too wide, too wrong. Then it raises a finger to its lips. Shoo! The lights flicker. When they come back on, the mirror is empty.
I thought it was my reflection in the hallway mirror until it blinked before I did. Now it stands in the kitchen, smiling, waiting for me to move first.
I found an old camera in the woods, still warm, with a single photo saved. It showed me standing there, staring at the creature in the bird skull mask. I turned around, and it was no longer just in the picture.
Have you ever heard your own voice? When you weren't speaking? Last week, I was home alone, editing some audio for work. Simple interview stuff. Then I noticed it. In the background of one clip, barely audible, was my voice. Whispering. But I never said those words. I isolated the track, cleaned it up. It said, "He knows you're listening." I shut everything down. Thought maybe it was a glitch or audio bleed. But later that night, my phone lit up with a voicemail. Unknown number. I played it. It was me, screaming. And over the screams, another voice whispered, "You weren't supposed to hear that."
Have you ever looked at a grave and wondered if the right person is inside? Last winter, my mother passed away. Closed casket funeral. They said it was better I didn't see her too much damage from the accident. I believed them. I had to. But 3 nights ago, I got a text from her number. "It's so cold down here." I froze. Called the number. It rang once. Then voicemail. Her voice. The same message she used to leave. "Leave a message and I'll call back soon." Except this time, at the end, there was something new. A whisper. It said, "You buried the wrong one."
Have you ever realized you don't actually know who's living next to you? I moved into a new apartment last month. Quiet place. Only one neighbor, an old man in 302. We never spoke, but I heard him moving around, walking, dragging his feet. 2 nights ago, I saw police at his door. I asked what happened. The officer looked confused. This unit's been empty for weeks. The tenant died in January. I laughed. That's not possible. I hear him walking every night. The cop just stared at me and said, "You're not the first to say that." That night, I left a note under his door. The next morning, it was back. Same paper. Same handwriting. It said, "Don't listen to them. I'm still here." Have you ever woken up somewhere and had no idea how you got there? A few weeks ago, I started sleepwalking. At least, that's what I thought. I'd wake up in odd places, on the kitchen floor, standing in the hallway, once outside on the porch. My door was locked. Alarm still armed. I figured maybe stress. So I set up a camera. And last night, I caught it. At 2:11 a.m., I stood up, walked to the door. Then I just stood there for almost an hour, not moving, not blinking, just staring at the door. And then something knocked 3 times, but I didn't open it. I didn't even react. Instead, I whispered, "Not tonight. Someone's watching." And here's the worst part. I was smiling. Have you ever noticed something small, off, just enough to make your stomach drop? It started with my toothbrush. I always brush before bed. But 2 nights ago, I walked into the bathroom and it was wet, still dripping, like someone had just used it. But I live alone. I checked the sink, tiny flecks of red in the bowl. Not blood, not quite, just enough to feel wrong. I threw the brush out. Last night, same thing. New toothbrush. What again? This time, the mirror had a fingerprint, right where my mouth would be. I set up my phone to record. At 3:03 a.m., something walked in. No face, just a figure, tall, gaunt. It picked up my toothbrush and smiled at the mirror. Have you ever checked a smart device and found something it was never supposed to capture? My girlfriend works nights, so I'm home alone a lot. Just me and our dog. Last week, I started getting movement alerts from our indoor camera while I was sleeping. I figured it was the dog, until I checked the footage. At 2:14 a.m., the dog is asleep on the couch. Lights are off. Then, motion detected. A figure walks past the hallway, barefoot, slow, straight into the kitchen. You can't see its face, but it moves like it knows the layout. Never bumps into anything. I was terrified. Called my girlfriend at work, made her stay on the phone while I searched the house. Nothing. Doors locked. Windows shut. I thought maybe it was old footage. A glitch. Until it happened again. 2 nights later. Same time. This time, the figure walked into the bedroom. I'm lying there, asleep, and it just stands at the edge of the bed, watching, for 6 minutes. Then it leans in and whispers something. The app didn't catch audio, but I swear, my eyes flicker, like I heard it in my sleep. And here's the part that won't leave me alone. The camera is motion activated. It only records when something moves. So who turned it off? Before it walked out? Have you ever found something in your handwriting that you swear you didn't write? Last Thursday, I found a note on my fridge. It said, "Don't answer the door, no matter what." It was written in my handwriting, but I don't remember writing it. I live alone, and I hadn't left the apartment in 2 days. I thought maybe I wrote it in a dream. Stress, maybe. I left it there. Then Friday night, around 3 a.m., someone knocked. 3 times. I didn't move. Didn't answer. Then they said my name. Exactly how I say it. The same tone. The same inflection. Like it copied my voice. And then I heard footsteps. Inside the apartment. But the door was still locked. I grabbed the note, thinking I'd written more on the back. And I had. But not in my handwriting. It just said, "You looked